Hey everybody, this is Philip with TDR Auto. Today I have a 2017 Jeep Wrangler with 3.6 engine. This one had a code for a P06DE and it is for engine oil pressure control circuit stuck on. I already checked the wiring, which is back here, right over here, and that looks good. I got no issues there, so I'm gonna be replacing the pump. All right, this is the oil pump. So it is run by the gear. It's got a gear here that runs on a separate timing chain. It is not timed, so it doesn't matter how you put it on. It's got a tensioner that's spring-loaded. Yeah, it's got only 2 wires, so it's basically on and off switch. Once the pressure goes below 6 psi, there are most likely going to be big problems to the engine. Once it goes over 3000 RPM, the solenoid turns off and the pump enters high-speed mode. First thing I did is taking the airbox out, so I got room to get to the deep stick. There's a 13mm bolt right over there. I took the bolt completely out, so it's easier for me to slide the deep stick out. And we're gonna take the lower pan, so I'm already draining the oil. And then we're gonna take the upper oil pan, which is not too hard. Now this oil pan doesn't have a gasket. It's all engine RTV. So you gotta make sure you have the 3-bond engine RTV. It's a high temperature RTV specifically made for aluminum parts and aluminum to steel parts. These silicone RTVs are really good. They usually don't leak at all if you apply it correctly. The main disadvantage is those parts are really difficult to remove. It's like a super glue. It just holds so good. I used to have a really nice tool for this. It would be like a metal scraper, like it will be much wider, and it's designed to scrape gaskets from metal parts, and that worked really good. Unfortunately, I lost it, so I need to get another one. So in the meanwhile, I'm just using flat-bladed tools. Here you can see how I kind of do it, and then slowly prying, and then moving the screwdriver more in as I go. Finally. So pretty much all the bolts are the same length, except this one in the front corner on the left front. That one is shorter, so this is the shortest bolt over here, and you can see that the oil pan is the most narrow in this part. Okay, and at last we have under these plugs, just rubber plugs. You got 10mm bolts hiding inside of it. So I just take 10mm socket, and just the regular 10mm bolts. And here is the other prying spot I was talking about. So I'm gonna put my pry bar in here and go up, and I'll keep switching from there. to back here. The only thing is this spot in the back here, you can't really get a leverage in there because there's not much room. With extreme care not to break it, you know, I pry on it, and thankfully it's coming out. And the pan is off. Now we gotta take this Torx bolt out, slide the pulley with the chain, and keep in mind, if you're doing this engine in different vehicle like Grand Cherokee or the ProMaster, in ProMaster you will have to take the timing cover out because you cannot reach some of these bolts. So we got one 10 mil in here, another 10 mil in here, and I highly recommend replacing this O-ring, and I think the new oil pump doesn't come with one, so you will need to get this O-ring separate, just the oil pickup O-ring. The connector comes off pretty easy. You just press the tab and push. Yeah, you want to make sure the terminals are in good shape. And now we got this clip that we need to remove, and then this connector will push through the whole inside. The new pump comes with a new pin, so we can lose this one, it's fine. Alright, and this is a T45 that goes in the bolt. And the torque shouldn't be that much, so you should be able to lose it. There we go. So now I'm gonna press this tensioner like so, relieve the pressure on the chain. I can press it by hand, and then I'm gonna use my other hand that I'm holding the camera now and pull the sprocket out. Here we go, I got the sprocket out. I was able to do it with just my hand. I use a small screwdriver just to help pry it out. Alright, now we got 4 10mm bolts. So I used a little bit of oil penetrant and sprayed around the O-ring on the sensor, so the sensor is a little easier to push in. And here we go. And that's it. I'm gonna clean the old sealant from the RTV, from the dried up RTV. If you're using a blade, like a steel blade, be careful not to make deep scratches in the aluminum. And because in the shop here we have a nice parts cleaner, I might as well give it a good wash. So the engine oil is going to be nice and clean now that the oil pan is going to be very clean too. This oil pan isn't that dirty because this car had an oil change not that long ago. Plus this parts washer actually makes the old silicone more soft, so it's easier to clean. If you don't have a parts washer, then brake cleaner will clean the oil away pretty good too. The metal parts are stamped in, so what I use for that to get the silicone out is a wire wheel, like a fine wire wheel. So I'm gonna slide the tensioner in there. Make sure the spring is on the top like this, so it's got a nice tension going in. And if you use a hex key like a 3mm or similar, you can actually lock the tensioner in place like so. Now it's locked in position. I hope it's not gonna come out because my hex key is pretty slim, but looks like it works. And I'm gonna use a little bit of dielectric grease on the o-ring so it's easier to go in. The sprocket, I have it still in there, but I can remove it. It doesn't matter, I just left it there. If it's gonna be hard to put it in, I'll take the sprocket out, put it back in later. Yeah, it's not easy to put this connector in there. You can see there's a flat spot on the connector right in here. So the flat spot needs to go rearwards. So the way I was able to put the wire through, I grabbed it with the needle nose pliers like this, and that worked. Now these 4 10mm bolts got torqued to 12 Newton meters, and this T45 torques, it's 18 foot-pounds. Once the pump is in, you're gonna double check that you cannot see the o-ring, right? In my case, I had the red o-ring was still showing up, so I had to use a long screwdriver and push it more in. Once it was more in, see that little clip, it still wasn't engaged, so I had to use my needle nose pliers, and I had to pull the connector a little further, and then I heard the click and that little clip engaged, and then I was able to put a grenade pin through it. And to torque it, I had to use one of the holes for the sprocket to put my key through and to hold it in place while I'm torquing it to 18 foot-pounds. And again, 12 Newton meters on the 10mm bolts. This one, that one. So same for the oil pump, 12 Newton meters. Alright, and you want a nice uniform bead of silicone all around. Doesn't have to be a fat bead, because most of it will get squeezed out anyway, so like this is perfect. And I put a little bit extra where they join, you know, the front crank seal housing with the block. I make sure it's free of oil so it bonds better, makes better seal. And here you can see they show us 18 pounds for the upper oil pan, and for the 4 bigger bolts for the bell housing, it's 41 pounds. And again, 12 Newton meters on the 10mm bolts. All right, don't forget to put the dipstick back in. There we go. Yeah, I looped the o-ring a little bit too. Make sure, yeah, it sits in the right place. It's ready for the 13mm bolt to go back in. All right, slowly wrapping up. Yeah, it's nice to have a magnetic tray with all the bolts right. You know, I don't have to look for any bolts on the ground or in the drain. As always, I have most of the product tools that I'm using. I try to put in the description when I find the links for them. All right, we're done here. Now, if you guys use this 3-bond, this good stuff, you gotta be quick when you assemble it. If you put it on the oil pan and you wait for longer than, I don't know, 30 minutes, then it may not work as designed. You have to be fast. Once you open this up and you put it on the oil pan, you only have like 10-15 minutes to put it in and snug the bolts and then torque it. Don't wait, just do it as quick, because this stuff dries pretty quick. There are actually some mechanics, they put the oil pan in and they put the oil in right away. They don't even wait to cure it, right? The cure time is so fast on this thing, but still, when I do it, like now I just finished with the oil pan, I'm gonna wait at least an hour or two, just to be safe, because it's still, you know, even the top oil pan, it's still really soft to the touch. So I'm gonna give it 2 hours at least, and then I'm gonna put the oil in